This Halloween, be sure to find a costume contest with the biggest prize. Make this costume and then win the shit out of it. Here's how you make a Sharknado costume.
DIYer for life.
First, watch Sharknado to strike fear into your heart. Next, hit up your local hardware store and in the garden department, pick up a tomato cage. It's practically shaped like a tornado. Crazy enough, this hardware store had a little Halloween section and they had these flashing strobe lights with storm sound effects. How crazy perfect. Next, I picked up a few packs of spider webs, a few rolls of plastic wrap, 1 can of white and 1 can of gray spray paint, and a roll of white duct tape. Sharks. Don't waste your time driving around looking for sharks, because you're not going to find them. There's no shark emporiums. Instead, spend a few minutes online and order a variety. Other things you'll need: a stapler, some spray glue, scissors, wire wrap, wire cutters, sandpaper, and some red yarn. Alright, prop your tomato cage up and with your wire cutters, cut off these 2 pieces from the metal rings. Cutting these 2 rings open will allow you to easily bend and shape the metal cage to your body so that you can easily slip in and out of it. Once your tomato cage is shaped, grab your plastic wrap, tie the end of it to the bottom ring, and wrap it tightly around and around and around. Once I finished my first roll, I added my lights. First by creating a little pocket on the inside of the plastic and then feeding the lights through to the outside and stringing them around strategically so that when I cut my holes for the arms, face, and the back panel, I don't cut into them. Once placed, start on your second roll of plastic wrap and wrap around the lights. Next, take your tornado to a well-ventilated area and paint it all tornado-like with your spray paint. Bust out your spray glue and give the whole thing a good coat. Take your first bag of spider webs and begin to wrap them around your tornado from the bottom to the top in a tornado-like fashion. Next, you want to create the opening on the back of the costume by cutting up from the bottom to the top rings. Grab your white duct tape and cut off 2 strips the length of your opening. Apply 1 strip to each side, getting them as closely lined up as you can. Now grab your stapler and staple up along either side of the tape. Once you can't go any further with your stapler, start cutting up the middle. You'll repeat this process, unless you have an easier one, until you get to the top. Cover the staples and edges with another piece of white duct tape and repeat this process for your armholes. Now for the exciting part, trying it on and making sure it fits. Once on, figure out where your face naturally rests inside. Then, mark out where you'll need to cut for your face hole. Next, it's finally time to connect those 4 longer pieces of wire on the bottom and shape them into the bottom of your tornado. Tie it off with a rubber band and cut off any extra wire. Once it's all shaped, repeat the same steps that you took with the top. Cover in plastic wrap, paint, glue, cover in spider webbing, tape the back, staple, cut, and finish the edges. To keep the costume shape, you're going to simply attach those flaps to the inside of the costume. Alright, now it's time to add the sharks to the Nado. Take out your assortment O sharks and with your bendable wire meticulously attach them in a swirling tornado-like pattern from the bottom to the top. Blend and wrap smaller sharks into the folds of the webbing. Last step, add a little blood by taking some red yarn or another kind of red material, ball up some guts, and stuff it into a few of the sharks' mouths. Cover with 1 last layer of spider webbing, and you, my friend, are finished. This costume is guaranteed to devastate any party you go to. But wait, sound effects and lights? What? Want more awesome DIY costume tutorials? Subscribe to ThreadBanger by clicking that big red button. And right there for another awesome how-to. Happy Halloween, everybody!